New mindset movement, Mindset Mondays. Let's go. So, I wanted to talk about branding today and what is the message of your business. Regardless of what business you are in, this is a really important thing to figure out, right? And we hammer vision and what your vision is for your business so hard because it plays into so many factors. And one of those big factors is what is the message of your business, right? So, for me personally, it has a lot to do with my story, the things I've been through, the things I screwed up, the things I did good, opportunities that I've found, and all those things coming together, right? And it creating a situation in which I've been given a unique set of talents and gifts to be able to help others. And in many cases, I feel that we don't accurately identify what our message is and what our brand message is to begin with, right? So, regardless of what business you're in, right, it can be something in the automotive business, it could be a shop, it could be, installing specific parts, glass, body shop, whatever the case may be. It can be services, right? You can be in coaching, you can be offering digital services, you could be building products, right? You could be a product manufacturer. It doesn't make a difference what business you're actually in the sense that you need to have some sort of brand message, right? What is your core value? What sets you apart from the other people in your space, right? And you see this getting lost in so many ways, right? From small businesses just starting out to large businesses, right? Even big businesses like, say, a dealership or a chain of dealerships should have a brand message of what is their purpose, what makes them different, right? Why go buy from them instead of the guy up the road? And, you know, I've seen some business owners do this really well, and some business owners that they have somewhat of an idea when they first start out, and it just kind of fades away over time, right? And how you portray this message and the what your message is can make a huge impact on your business, right? Just having a unique brand message can do wonders for your marketing, right? And most people don't think about that when they're first starting out. And I don't want to discourage you and create a place that like really holds you back in your business or even holds you back from starting a business because you're stuck on, well, I have to have the perfect message, right? It can change. And sometimes you see this change with businesses, especially as they're, figuring out their ideal client avatar, right? Which is another important piece to this puzzle. And as you're figuring that out, you're figuring out, okay, what is my ideal client? What does that look like? Who do I want to target? Who do I want to do business with? Sometimes that can change a little bit. Sometimes that can flow a little bit differently. Sometimes that can sway one way and then back another way. And then you find, what that looks like. But ultimately, having a brand message of what it is that you do and who your products and services are for is a key component and success of the growth of your business. You can try to say, hey, like I deal with everybody or I want to deal with everybody. And many business owners, when they're smaller, starting out, that's what they believe, right? Because they want to help everybody. Some of it comes from a genuine place of wanting to help. Some of it comes from, just trying to obtain clients because you're a new business. Some of it comes from a fear of not making money, right? So you're willing to service anybody because you need to keep cash flowing into your business. At the end of the day, what you'll find is by doing that, not only are your timelines not as good as they should be, the product and service that you offer, the quality won't be there in the way that you want it to be or you hope it to be. And you're going to find yourself in this perpetual chaos of like constantly trying to figure things out because you're not getting really good at any one thing, right? And so having a consistent brand message, figuring out what that message is, right? If you're in the automotive space and you want to cater to just European car owners, right? Well, do that. Focus on that. Don't take every sedan that walks through the door, right? If you want to focus on maybe businesses, right? And that's your brand message. Okay, well, then that is what you focus on. If you are a body shop, right? And you want to focus on dealing with insurance companies, well, focus on dealing with insurance companies, and in the direct referral game, right? Because you can, in that case, right, in that space, you're going to deal with customers all the time. You're going to deal with, everybody's going to have insurance, so you're going to deal with the insurance companies. But there's a difference between people that walk in the door and all you do is insurance referrals, and you become, the preferred body shop for specific insurance companies, right? Another way to look at it is maybe you want to do body work for only high-end cars, or you don't care about the high-end cars and you want to turn over as much volume as possible. Okay, if that's the case, right, you don't want to do the mix of, hey, somebody's got $100,000 BMW M5, leave that to a more specialty shop and take your Toyota Camrys and your Honda Civics and stuff like that and do 3 or 4 cars, right? So figure out what your brand message is. Figure out what the purpose of what you're doing is, or who you want to focus on. And then that is the message that you portray, right? Why did you start doing this? Why is it that you got into this game, right? Did you work somewhere that did something similar and you didn't like the way that, people were treated? Did you work somewhere that did something similar and you didn't like how it was run and you thought you could do a better job? Maybe you have a skill or a talent and you haven't pursued that, and like this is your opportunity to pursue that. Maybe you've been through some stuff and you're trying to help others, right? So they don't ever have to go through what you did. Maybe you are just trying something new, right? And you are really trying to figure out, hey, like, how would I make this work, right? Maybe you just have a hidden talent that you haven't really pursued, and this is your opportunity to pursue that talent. At the end of the day, the reason matters, and make that part of your brand message. Make that part of why you do what you do, who you do this for, and be proud of whatever that is, right? Take that message and make that part of your advertising, make it part of your website, make it part of whatever you do, right? Use your story and your testimony when you talk to your customers, but use it to your advantage, right? Don't hide it. Don't take and just basically willy-nilly, be willing to go after anything and do anything for anybody. Focus in on who you want to do it for and what your brand message is for those people, and stay focused on that. You will continue to grow so much faster by doing that and be more consistent, generate more consistent revenue, and also be able to offer a much better and more consistent product than you ever did before, just by being a little more focused and honing in on what your actual brand message is. Till next time, see you later.